Hi, my name's Akshaya.
I'm Joanne,
There's no Tanisha. This is Behind the Screens,
and today's episode is
Communication and Crossword,
yes.
Part 2.
Yeah. Tanisha has no voice, so she's unable to talk with us today, but she'll be back next time. So, we wanted to do like part two about communication because last time we kind of covered why it's important and like the significance of like communicating correctly is, but we felt like we could do like a how to communicate. Tanisha kind of touched on it at the end of the last one and like advice and being like, make sure you're not like super defensive. And so we wanted to like go into depth of like how you should communicate to like different people in like different contexts. And we're doing the crossword too.
Yay!
Do you want to start with a crossword, like a couple things?
Yeah. Which
I'll
one?
share my screen. And this is the USA Today crossword. Okay, there's lots of ads. So we'll do like a few and then we'll talk and then come back to it. Chicago Slugger. Do you know this, Miss
Nope.
Chicago? Okay.
Show that might have a laugh track.
Sitcom.
Oh, wait, what's for? Is that DNA?
Four
14
down.
across? RNA?
RNA.
Period.
Read. Arid.
25? Spur? Brutally honest. Harsh?
Nice. Radio, magazines, media. Oh, wait, what is this?
Catacombs?
Oh, yes. Wait, I think we could do this one. Person being pulled.
Oh, jet, or not jet. What's the other one? Is it just water?
Yeah, water skier. What is this? Total fake sham
It's 19 across.
unites. Okay, should we stop there?
Yeah.
Usually I get carried away with the crossword. I do it in class sometimes. But anyway,
I feel like with communicating properly, the biggest barrier, I think we probably touched on this before. A lot of people think that like they're scared that it'll cause an argument. Especially I feel like with like college and stuff when you're just meeting people, a lot of people think like, "Oh, I don't know this person well enough to bring up a problem you have." But I feel like to communicate properly, the first like mindset you need to get rid of is just like, oh, it's not that deep, or I'm scared it'll cause an argument. Well, most of the time it'll be because like it's something someone else did that made you upset. But it's like, it doesn't have to be an argument unless you let it become one, you know? And this also goes into like being defensive and stuff, which we can go into later. But I think it's just like the way that you approach them. And if it's like, if you come off very calm and like you say from the beginning, like, oh, I'm not trying to start an argument and stuff like that, but I just wanted to let you know that this thing made me upset, then I feel like it's very easy. But like people oftentimes like tie communicating your feelings and stuff to starting an argument when that doesn't have to be the case.
yeah, I think that a lot of people are afraid of confrontation because of that. Like they think that any type of communication, like anything that they do to express their feelings will result in an argument. And like there probably have been situations in the past where like they've tried to like voice their feelings and then they were just like shut down by the other person or like it turned into an argument, which is like really hard to change that kind of perspective if like that's constantly what you're being hit with is like just like being like in a really defensive situation because like the other person will make it into an argument. But it's like still important to like voice your feelings no matter what. Also just because communicating like more than trying to affect the other person, like it'll also just like get that weight lifted off of you. Like for me, I will think for maybe like a couple days if a situation is like really bothering me, and if I'm still thinking about it, then I'll like bring it up. I'll try to clarify the situation or like something because like if it's been on my mind, that means like there's a chance it could have been on the other person's mind or like I just wanted to get it off my mind. And it's something we talked about in last episode of like it's never a bad thing to just like clear something up, but it's worse to just like let it fester. It shouldn't become an argument just because like you're communicating your feelings and like that like from your side you can only do so much and like come into it with like the correct approach and you can only hope that like the other person will reciprocate that.
And like when it's with somebody that you might not be the closest with, and like they do something or say something that like just like rubs you the wrong way, it can be hard to like confront someone, especially if it's like you don't know how they'll react in a situation. But I think like what Joanne was saying, where it's like if you think that this is a problem or like this is something that you like can't get out of your mind. It makes you like really upset. Even if that person happens to react the wrong way, then maybe it just like might not be meant to be. You know, like if they react like very defensively and they start arguing a lot, or like they'll hold this one thing against you, then maybe it's like this person isn't like how you thought they were. It's not like worth it to sort of maintain this friendship knowing that they're not that good at handling confrontation and like communicating when they're upset.
Yeah, and there's definitely like when you try to like communicate your feelings with someone, that's when you can really see like how they are like as a friend. Because like some people will just instantly like play the blame game basically, or they're just like they won't let you speak, and like they're just the type of person who like you don't even want to like express your feelings to them because it feels like you're not even getting through. Like actually I was saying like at that point you just might not even want to continue the friendship in the long run. Like, is that something you really want if like you're not able to like speak freely how you need to?
Exactly.
One thing I would say about how to go into that confrontation situation or like trying to tell someone how you feel is to literally just use like, I felt like this when this happened. And like, I just wanted to let you know because it's been on my mind. Instead of it being like, you did this to me, just being like, it made me feel like this. Because also, I think a lot of people don't realize how it makes other people feel. And so, like, the other person could just be like, wow, like, I had no idea that it affected you like that. And I'm so sorry. And then like it would just be solved, you know? And it's just like saying how something made you feel can like really make a difference. Also be open-minded to like if the other person has something to say. There's also like a kind of gray area because like the other person shouldn't like flip it back onto you, but like it's like a conversation. So they should be able to say like if you did something that also made them kind of upset. So like be open-minded to that, but don't let it just be like flipping the blame or something like that.
Yeah, I think like one big thing is like not just like don't be defensive. It goes both ways where it shouldn't be like if a situation made you feel upset, like what Joanne said, you shouldn't like immediately say like, oh, you did this, you did that. And at the same time, it shouldn't be like you're hearing how like what you did affected someone else. You shouldn't immediately be defensive and like try to think of an excuse because like that's not the point. Your intentions don't matter as much. It's mainly just like how it came off and like how that impacted the other person. There's a difference between, I guess, like what actually happened and like how that person felt, you know? An example would be like if you like went to a party or something, like one person could say like, oh, they didn't really like it that much because they just don't like parties and like they didn't feel like they had a lot of fun. And the other person could say like they had a lot of fun. That doesn't change like how good or bad it was. It's just like the experience was subjective. And I feel like for the same thing, or it's like if you did something where you didn't intend for it to come off like bad or like to negatively impact someone, but it just so happened to, then it's like you shouldn't immediately be like, well, that wasn't my like intention, or like I didn't mean to, or like in that in the defensive way where it's like you didn't do that, like you weren't trying to be bad and stuff. It's like you can both acknowledge, oh, I wasn't trying to hurt you, but at the same time, I'm sorry because it negatively impacted you, you know? Because I'm sure everybody has like good intentions with like some of the stuff they do or say, but it's like it doesn't always come out that way. And what matters the most is that like you take accountability and you realize like, oh, like this could have negatively impacted someone. I won't do that again.
So we do a couple more words and then
Yeah.
move on back to the crossword. Heat of the moment.
One, no. Off, off.
Oh,
Oh, didn't they climb Mount Everest? Mountain climber?
oh wow.
Jasmine? Oh, nerd.
Leaps from a high platform. Oh, like a
Oh,
roof jumper.
there's like a word for parkour. No.
It's like this. Ethic. Reside. Pumpy fruit.
Bumpy fruit?
Okay, maybe that's good for the second half. Another really big thing with like communication is knowing like how to compromise with people because like when it comes to having a healthy relationship in any way, like it's important to also consider the other person.
I forgot what the word is, but there's a difference between like I'm thinking of this from Stranger Things, where it's like compromise is like halfway happy. But then there's another one where it's like you both find a way to be fully happy. But I feel like in a lot of situations it's difficult where it's like you both technically have your way, which is why I feel like compromise is important because it's like you still get part of what you want, but it's not everything. People tend to forget like what compromise really is and how it's like not like you're getting everything you want, but you're getting part of it, which is why like sometimes trying to like resolve stuff and fix it, like not everyone's exactly happy with the outcome because it's not exactly what they wanted. But I think it's like important to remember that like both sides sort of want something. It's like it's not just you. At least you're getting something out of it. They're also getting something out of it, I guess. I don't know if that like makes sense and stuff.
Gonna say also it's like being open-minded and like understanding the other person, being willing to like sacrifice something that you really, really want. But then also like conveying if you really, really want that too, saying exactly what's on your mind.
I think like it's really important to remember though, after you have this conversation and like you come to a compromise and a solution, you shouldn't forget that and then like immediately go back to doing the same thing. And it just like shows like a lack of effort and like a lack of just like I guess care towards the other person's feelings just because like especially if it's like this made the other person upset, if you're saying like oh you'll fix things, but then you go back to doing the same thing, it gets disrespectful to a point because it's like this person has come out of their way, they told you how they feel, and yet you're still like not making any effort to change.
Yeah, and like a lot of people, it takes a lot of effort to like communicate in the first place.
Hmm.
Like some people like it's really hard for them to say what's on their mind, and then for someone to just like ignore it or just like say that they're listening but then actually not. That's
Hmm.
like how you were saying, like pretty disrespectful to them. Also, like another part of communication is like if you're gonna say something, like be true to it. Like
Hmm.
if you're going to communicate something about like how you feel, like don't be hypocritical. If something is bothering you, make sure you're also like not doing that same thing to other people. I don't know, like if you're saying that you're able to like do change something or fix something, like make sure that it's something you can adhere to so that it doesn't like make the situation worse.
Yeah.
But yeah, compromise is a really big thing because otherwise, like, no one would be happy. It's the best way to like for both of you to be happy, and the only way to do that is to like truly like say exactly what you want. Kind of like not beat around the bush because otherwise, then like you're not helping yourself by like not saying like exactly what you want.
I also think like one important thing is if you know someone's upset, don't just apologize to get over it. Like
Hmm.
if you really don't understand like why something is making someone upset, you don't have to like I'm not gonna say like oh, like just defend yourself like stuff like that deflect and stuff like that. I just mean like if you're not understanding it, communicate that and say like I still sort of don't understand like where I went wrong, can you please explain? Because I feel
Yeah.
like another thing is like it's really easy to just say like yeah I'm sorry I'll change, but then you don't actually know what you're sorry about, so then you keep making the same mistake again and again. And I guess that also just goes into like a lack of care or a lack of effort because it's like at this point, you're basically just apologizing so that this person's no longer upset at you. But then that won't do anything because then you end up making the same mistake again, and then they get upset again. And then it's this whole cycle, and that also goes into like lack of care and like disrespect and stuff like that. Overall, it's just like really important to maintain communication, especially if it's like you guys are arguing or like someone's upset and like you're arguing about something. A big thing is like being understanding, like understanding what they're saying, understanding how even if you didn't intend it, that's like how it came off and that's how it impacted them. And also making sure you understand like where you actually went wrong so that you don't make the same mistake again.
Yeah, wait, you were saying like to not just like say sorry for the sake of it because it's supposed to be like a conversation. If someone is saying sorry to just like end it, like then it's not a conversation. Then it's just like you saying something and them ignoring it. And then it's just like defeats the whole purpose of communication because like the whole point is for like you to express how you're feeling and then for something or someone to like change at least what they're doing. Or so like it's all about perspective and like if you have the perspective of like whatever they're saying like doesn't matter to me, like I don't really need to change, or like they're just saying it to make themselves feel better, like that's not helping anyone. Also like have that mindset of like oh like if I'm doing something wrong, like I should be a better like friend or something in this situation just so that like it betters something. Like the whole point of communication is to like benefit both of you or one of you, and like that's useless if like you're not really like contributing to the conversation. Like if you're just making it an argument or if you're just like whatever, like then it's just not helpful at all.
Should we go finish the crossword?
Yeah, it's probably end in G, right? What is terracing?
I have no clue. Spooky 54. Oh,
Eerie, eerie,
peruses an email.
bruises.
Peruses? That's a word?
Yeah, it's like skimming through.
Oh,
DJing, DJ set,
bun?
fun. No.
Updo? Oh, do.
Okay, back to top. I don't know this still.
Me neither. I don't know what a grog is.
Yeah, me neither. Oh, bungee jumper.
Oh, hoarse voice. What is that?
Anisha, did you get my joke?
Oh, yeah. I was gonna say the same. Pro whistleblower. Those are the people that like expose bad stuff, right?
Oh,
2025 film.
what? College games intermural? Intramural.
Some ER employees. Oh, what is?
Oh, ram. Wait, what? It's not
Oh,
ram? Oh, wrong.
adhere? Nope. Admire? No. Admire? Yes. Mobile?
For what?
Mobile? 47 down.
Oh, yes. This is madam. Pass on, impart.
I don't know what terracing is.
Me neither.
Calligraphy flourishes. Streaks. Oh,
Serifs. What is AOL? Oh,
no.
a ref.
For
It's
which
like
one?
a whistle.
Oh, there's a lot of football stuff in here.
Yeah.
Speaking of
Okay.
football, that Super Bowl game.
I don't want to say anything, but wait, no, I don't want to say anything. It's just like cattle, mattle, rattle, battle,
I've never heard of that movie. Chicago Slugger.
cub,
Yikes, maybe I should have gotten that.
unpaid. Okay, we did it. Oh, I also did want to say like communication is also important to like who you're talking to, like being informal and formal. Because I know some people who are like really like jokey and like make fun of people like to their friends, but then like when they meet people for the first time, like they'll also be like that to them, and then some people will take that the wrong way. So it's just like important to always like be aware of like who you're around, and you don't want to just like say something or in a way to someone and like they take it a wrong way and you're not even like close and you don't even know like, how they will react. And I feel like I've learned that a lot, like meeting new people and like making new friends because like you don't know these people, especially like if you're talking to people like in a professional setting versus like not. So just like always be aware of like who you're talking to and in what setting you're talking.
I guess it's just like knowing how to read the room, knowing when to and when not to bring something up. And I get
Mhm.
like when I say this, I guess this also goes into defensiveness, where it's just like if someone's saying that like they have a problem with like something you did or said, don't take that as an opportunity to be like, well, yeah, well, you did this or something.
Mhm.
And I guess like even if it's hypocritical, where it was like, oh, like maybe they also did it to you. I think like you're still allowed to bring it up, but don't bring it up in a way to like try to invalidate them and be like, yeah, well, you also did the same thing. Especially if it didn't make you upset and you're just bringing it up because like now they're bringing it up. Like don't just do that so that like you can prove that you're not in the wrong and stuff. Because also like if it didn't make you upset, then like again like it's subjective. It just like depends on the person. Like some people might get upset, some people won't. I guess just again, like the main thing is just like don't be defensive. I feel like that's what immediately turns things into an argument. And then that also just tells the person, like, oh, when I come to them for something I'm upset about, they're just going to invalidate me.
And also like if you're going into it like not trying to make it an argument, you don't want it to become an argument, like don't give in to like the bickering back and forth because that'll just like make it into something worse. How to not make an argument, just to say like I'm not trying to make it this an argument, I just want to tell you how I feel and like be totally transparent. I think that's like the biggest thing. It's like how you were saying before, saying that something didn't bother you and like making it defensive or something, like that's one big reason why communication is important because like if you're gonna weaponize something and like bring it up later just to like flip it back on someone else, like that's like terrible. So like if you are feeling some type of way and you just like hold it in until like someone else says something, like that's not helpful like at all for anyone.
If you're ever like confronting someone or like telling like, them how you feel and you find that they're still trying to argue with you, then I feel like there's nothing wrong in just like removing yourself from the conversation. Like, especially if it's over text and stuff, because I know that's usually the easiest. If they try to start arguing with you, you can literally just say, I wasn't trying to argue with you. I'm just telling you how I feel, and I don't want to continue this conversation if you're just going to argue with me. Like, there's no harm in doing that because at least at the end of the day, you still got to like convey your feelings and say how you felt and like what you thought was like wrong. And I think that's the most important thing. Because at the very least, even if they start arguing with you in the moment, but later, like after the conversation has ended, they can look back and be like, oh, wait, like, yeah, maybe that was wrong of me and I won't do that again.
Yeah, another thing is like having a conversation in text versus like in real life. That's like a really big difference. And so like if you're trying to like do this over text, like you need to make sure that what you're saying is really getting across because it can be misinterpreted and also like people can take a long time to respond if they're like telling their friends or just like not at their phone. And like personally, I feel like the best ways to have conversations are face to face, just because like you can really understand what they're trying to say. But like it's sometimes easier to just like do it over text. Just make sure that anything that you're texting is like exactly what you want to say.
I don't think that texting is real communication or like how like actually talking. And the main reason why I say that, there's like a big difference between texting someone and like even just like calling them. Because I feel like at least when you call them, it's like you technically have most of their attention because they can actually see you. And I think it's important to like hear their tone and see their body language and like see their emotions and stuff. And so that's why like I feel like over texting it's just like you don't get any of that. All you get is just like a bunch of words. You don't even have to technically have a real conversation because it's like you could see the message and then you're just like, okay, I'll respond later. So it's not even
Mhm.
like you can go back and forth. And I feel like especially like if you're trying to have a serious conversation with someone, one, it should be like at the very least over call so that you can see them and like you can hear them and like you'll have most of their attention. It's not like they can leave randomly or like text their friends and be like, oh my God, so and so is like, they're texting me this. Like, what do I say? And stuff like that. I also just think like it sends the wrong message if they're trying to have a serious conversation and then you just like randomly leave in the middle, even if it's for a couple minutes, because it's just like they want to like actually resolve this, but then you're like doing like a quick errand in the middle. It like it just like comes off as like you're not taking it seriously because you're not giving them their full time, like your full time at this moment.
Yeah, it's like really important to be present in a conversation because that also just like shows the other person like how serious you're taking it. If you truly like care or like want to make a change.
Because you know how we said we were gonna do tips at the end?
Hmm.
We do like what we think is like the most important thing with communicating.
Yeah.
The most important thing is just like not getting defensive. And I feel like I really want to stress that because it just sends so many like bad signs, I guess, when it's like somebody's coming to you about something and the first thing you do is like try to defend or deflect or like try to excuse your actions. Because again, like at the end of the day, what really matters is like how you made them feel. And it's like if you made them feel upset, you should just like hold yourself accountable. Like you're allowed to explain yourself and say like, "Oh yeah, I get it. I like didn't mean for it to come off that way, but again, like I'm really sorry." But like your first thing shouldn't be that's not what I was trying to do. I'm not in the wrong for this, stuff like that. Or say like it was just a mistake, you know? Like you shouldn't try to like
Mhm.
undermine their feelings and like make it feel like how they're feeling is invalid.
You should be like as transparent as you can be about how you're feeling because it's like also easiest for another person to understand you if they know like exactly what you were feeling. So just like going into the conversation with like a clear cut, like I'm not trying to make an argument. I'm trying to just like communicate how I feel. I felt like this when this happened, and it's been like on my mind, and like just like laying it all out there. Like I'm a very big like brain dump like type of person, just because like how I was saying earlier, like beating around the bush is like just gonna like prolong the conversation and like make it like confusing kind of. So just like be as transparent as you can be. If you just let it all out, like in that moment, like there's nothing later that you will have to come back and like talk about again, hopefully. Be transparent and also like allow that open communication to just like flow back and forth. Like you be transparent and then say like, okay, like you can also say anything you want to me and like I will listen.
That's it, guys. Be sure to follow us on Insta at behind the screens _podcast. Same thing on TikTok. Send us some love. Send our reels some love. Bye.
Bye.